we know that storage for seasonal use in case of when the temperature increases, what will be the potential impact, and for electricity generation, in case of high rainfall, what will be the potential impact, and low rainfall and high temperature. So we see that climate change is going to affect the dam operations in future. So we have to go for such studies, and the way forward for taking out the functions related to dam safety aspect is we need to new acceptability criteria need to be evolved for the present and future dams. Dam safety reviews and MIS for dams, including dam registers, online databases, technology acquisition and dissemination of dam safety to state governments and organizations. And for we see that there will be a snow belt, and when the glacier recession is there, so glacier lakes are formed. So dam break studies, glacier break studies, and preparation of emergency action plans, analysis of structural behavior of dams with specific reference to implemented instrumentation systems in dams, monitoring implementation of dam safety regulation, technology upgradation for rehabilitation of distressed dams in efficient manner, and set up through legislation, state and central dam safety services. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Arora. Thanks for the handout on the Dharma, a new tool for effective management of dam asset and health data across India.
Hi everyone, my name is Tom Kendall. I'm from Guangzhou. I'm also the assistant team leader on DRIP, so the Central Project Management Unit for DRIP. Today I'll be presenting our work on Dharma, a new tool for the effective management of dam asset and health data across India. My presentation will try to answer four main questions. Firstly, what is Dharma? Secondly, why is it needed? Thirdly, how does it work? And finally, when will it be available? I'll try and go quickly, and if there are any questions at the end, I can take those. So firstly, what is Dharma? Most of you will be familiar with the definition of Dharma as moral duty, or what is established or firm. In this context, Dharma is a tool conceptualized and pioneered by the Central Water Commission. It is the Dam Health and Rehabilitation Monitoring application. So in a sentence, Dharma is a web-based asset management software to support the effective collection and management of asset and health data for all large dams in India. It's a very ambitious project. It's an online software. It can be accessed through a range of devices, computer, tablet, mobile phone. It's a data collection tool. So many different types of data, text, values, documents, drawings, photos can be easily uploaded, and they can be easily retrieved as well through data management tools, including analytical applications. Above all, it's an asset management tool to promote effective dam safety across the country. So Dharma consists of 7 modules. The first 3 modules, namely project features, project portfolio, and engineering features, are concerned with static data. So data or information that you enter once, which rarely changes. Modules 4 to 6, asset health, asset rehabilitation, and stakeholders, are concerned with dynamic data. So data or information which is updated regularly or continuously. The final module, document library, concerns the uploading, archiving of documents and drawings. Dharma is operated and maintained through 8 different user types across 4 levels. So at the top you have the webmaster, who is responsible for administering the whole software. Then you have the central admin and the central super admin. So these are the licensors. In this case, licensor is the Central Water Commission as Central Dam Safety Organisation of the country. So CWC then grant licenses to the licensees. The licensees are any dam-owning organisation in the country. So for now, it's the dam-owning organisations under DRIP who we're working with. So those organisations, particularly water resources departments, then grant certain user permissions to their staff. So they fall under three main categories. You have dams data managers who are concerned with static data, dam health engineers who are mainly concerned with dynamic data, and then finally general users. So why is Dharma needed? I've tried to keep this simple. We can talk about four particular objectives or benefits. Firstly, Dharma is an initiative to bring stakeholders together. The whole idea of the DRIC project is to bring people together to talk about dam safety, just as we have been doing this weekend. Dharma will promote increased coordination at local level, so dam level, state level, and also central level. So within those levels and also between levels. Dharma is designed to ensure completeness of information. Our experience on the DRIC project is that often very basic information, such as drawings or design reports, even contact details, can be very hard to get hold of. So Dharma will aim to address that. It will aim to bring together basic information and also more advanced information, as we've been seeing this weekend. Dharma will be designed to really assess the soundness of dam health, particularly through the fourth and fifth modules of asset health and asset rehabilitation. With the asset health module, which we're working on at the moment, we will start with routine inspections, so pre- and post-monsoon inspections, but we hope to then expand that to cover other asset health activities such as instrumentation, investigations, operation and maintenance aspects, and also dam break analysis and emergency action plan. Above all, Dharma will try to act as a tool, a platform, to promote effective asset management of dams across the country. So I've shown this as a cycle, because by addressing the first three, you get to the fourth, and by promoting effective asset management, you bring even more stakeholders. So it's hopefully a virtuous cycle, virtuous process. So I'll just quickly talk about how the first three modules work. This is a screenshot from the first module, project features. So as I mentioned earlier, we're trying to keep the software as user-friendly as possible. It's being designed for staff at dam sites across the country. So every page is designed very simply. You have a menu bar along the top, a side panel with navigation pane where you can access the dam projects and the components within those projects, as I'll come to afterwards. You then have a toolbar along the bottom, and this is the main content area. So the content area is the one that changes. So here for project features, this is the module that captures the salient information about your dam project. There are three tabs which remain regardless of the dam. So general information, location information, and financial information. So for each of those tabs, you have a form like this to enter the basic data. And then depending on which benefits or project purposes you select, you have a tab for each of those purposes. So the example that we're looking at here is Hirakud Dam in Odisha. So Hirakud has irrigation, hydropower, navigation, and flood control benefits. So we capture those benefits within this module. The next module, Project Portfolio, is designed to break up a dam project into its component parts. In this example, again for Hirakud project in Odisha, you see that you have the reservoir, and then you have four main dams. There's the left dike, which is an embankment dam, the main dam, which is a composite dam, and then the right dike. And then that main dam is then split into further blocks and reaches. So the benefit of doing this, when we give training, we talk about this like Windows Explorer. So you create a folder for each of the components of your dam, and to that folder you can then attach the information you need. So the project portfolio module is designed to set up that structure So that then serves as the basis for the next three modules: engineering features, asset health, and asset rehabilitation. So for each of those components,
We are left with 2 minutes.
portfolio, we have a map, photos, and schematics. So even this is a powerful tool to identify the locations and give a great introduction to the dam. So I'll try and conclude quickly. This is the engineering features module that we launched most recently. So essentially for every component of the dam that you set up in Project Portfolio module, you can then attach the technical information using the engineering features module. So this particular form is for the reservoir of Hiraku Dam project. So that's when you select reservoir here, you get these details here. So we've designed a different form for each of the main 17 component types. So when will Dharma be available? Dharma already is available. 3 of the 7 modules have been launched to date. We are now actively implementing the software, so we've trained over 200 users to date across 7 agencies in the 5 DRIP states. The week after next, we will be coming to Uttarakhand and Jharkhand, which are the two balanced states. So by then, we will have trained all 7 states, all 9 implementing agencies in the first 3 modules. We are also in parallel working on the development of the next asset health and rehab modules to be launched by March. And finally, we'd like to launch the balance modules, so stakeholders and document library, by May 2017 of this year. So just some concluding remarks. Dharma is a major initiative. It's a very ambitious initiative to organise dam data across the country. It's an ongoing exercise, continuous updation. It will support policymakers, but also dam owners and dam engineers to take better informed decisions, ensuring that the right information is available at the right time to the right people to make those right decisions. And finally, Dharma is at the beginning of its journey. We've only really been going on this for about a year, but we hope that we will get more and more people to join us on this journey. I'd be very happy to take a question or two, and if you want to talk to me afterwards, I'll be on the Aegis stool as well. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kendall. In fact, indeed, it's a very wide-ranging and a very rich software, and naturally, we cannot do justice in such a small slot of time. Unfortunate that we cannot really give more time over here. So we look forward to having workshops on Dharma and then spread it more widely. We now have Mr. Bhaskar Reddy, the organization.
Organization for Standardization has revised its standard ISO 9001 in the year 2015 and introduced 2 basic concepts into the standard. That is, one is context of any organization, and second is the risk-based thinking. So in the Central Dam Safety Organization, we have implemented the ISO 9001 in the 2008 version, and we are upgrading that to 2015 version. So in that area, we have started implementing this context and risk-based thinking. Now let us understand what is a context. Context is nothing but background, environment or circumstances, both internal and external, that influence the objectives and their achievement and sustainability. Even though this is a definition, most of the senior personnel managing an organization understand the context and act accordingly. What is missing is there is no formal identification of what is the context of an organization and documenting it. When we start documenting it, we will find many a times that we are not having the complete information readily available for the organization. So that is where the standard requires that formally you document what is the context of the organization in which it is functioning. So this establishing the context will help in meaningful objectives and pursuit. Now, if we look at the entire purpose of the standard or purpose of the management is set the goals which the organization has to achieve and establish processes by which these goals can be achieved, monitor the implementation so that we continually achieve these goals. So in establishing the right goals, meaningful objectives, the context will happen. That is formally establishing the context. So if you find when we are discussing about the context, we have to see the legal, I think, several aspects which influence this. So this establishing the context is a consultative approach by a group of senior officers of the organization. So the same approach was followed by the group of senior officers in CDSO in establishing the context for CDSO. That is, all the people identified basically who are the interested parties for the organization and what are their relevant needs and expectations. See, we have to be very clear. They may have several needs which are conflicting with the other interested party. What we have to see is how to balance these relevant needs and their expectations. Then what are the deliverables which satisfy those relevant interested parties to reduce the risk posed by them. Because what will happen is if there is a interested party and if we are not satisfying his relevant need, there is a risk that he will jeopardize the working of the organization. So we should be able to identify, again here, the standard used the word relevant. That means we have to see which interested party is more relevant and then what are his needs and expectations so that we address them. And we have identified the needs and expectations of different people, that is the customers, suppliers and partners, regulators, society, shareholders and employees. So these are the interested parties who are more important for us. So we have identified for the CDSO. So top management, what is their need is to remain as a premier organization. Because we are already a premier organization, so we have to continue to remain, that is one of the objective expectations. To uphold values of the organization, to achieve objectives in a sustainable manner. And we have another stakeholder, Ministry of Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation. Their expectation is to receive accurate dam safety related information. So they seek a lot of information for taking decisions and they want to receive very accurate information to support the efforts of the ministry in promoting and ensuring dam safety. So then sustained success of the organization, because this organization is part of the ministry, they want to sustain the success of this organization. Then dam owners and operators across the country who are users of the services of the CDSO, what are their expectations? To receive timely and cost-effective solutions to their problems, whatever problems faced by them. To receive standardized guidelines, checklists and formats which they can use in their operations and maintenance and all the activities. And there is also another...
Dr. Reddy, 2 more minutes.
Oh, sorry, state dam safety organizations, so they want good, timely, technical and administrative advice, uniformity in dam safety approaches, and society, they want confidence that large dams are safe and do not adversely impact the environment. They want ethical behavior from the employees, then compliance with the legal requirement. The employees want the fair opportunities for professional development, fair treatment in settlement of grievances, human respect and dignity of labor, and better opportunities for career progression, good working environment. Now the influencing factors are the governance. We have a bureaucratic and we have avoidable delays are there. Their strengths, we have a technical knowledge and experience. We have collaboration with academic and research institutes which we can leverage for improvement. And our weakness is inadequate empowerment. If somebody has to take a decision, there is some inadequacy in empowerment. Inadequate incentives and disincentives for performance. This is also one of the weaknesses. All these things have not been written by me or somebody. They have been identified by a group of senior executives with the head of the Central Dam Safety Organization participating in it. So these are the inadequate performance measurement system. So specific goals and monitoring whether these goals have been achieved, that also was not considered adequate. Now, external influencing factors, technological, insufficient continual professional development of the employees. All the employees need to be developed professionally. That also it was felt that it is inadequate. And when we see the threat, they said increased expectations from the customers. They want so many things which we are not able to deliver. And independent institutions offering faster and efficient.
Mr. Reddy, your time is up.
I'll take one more. Faster and efficient services. If they offer more efficient services, the people may look towards them rather than waiting for a solution from CWC. And opportunities, that is enhanced demand on CWC services with greater awareness about the dam safety. So we'll get more opportunities for development. So thank you very much. I covered the context aspect of it. The risk-based thinking is nothing but when we are looking at any delivery we are making, what is the risk of something going wrong, and finding out two things. One is how to reduce the impact or how to reduce the incidence of that risk. So these two aspects have to be considered. This also an exercise was done. And in that exercise, we identified some of the critical deliveries which CDSCO is making, and we identified what are the risks that are associated with these deliveries. So thank you very much. We can have.
Thank you, Mr. Reddy. Now I would invite Mr. D.S. Chaskar for capacity building and training for dam safety organizations.
Director from National Water Academy, Central Water Commission, Pune. And with the permission of the chair, I will start my presentation. The topic is capacity building for dam safety organizations. Capacity building is fundamentally about improving effectiveness of the organizations and its human resources. An analysis of the major dam safety events in the world shows that the failures are basically due to combination of various factors, including human factors. The human factors are basically low skilled manpower, weak supervision, mismanagement, violation of safety and rules and regulations. In many cases, it was seen that the failure or the event could have been avoided had the personnel involved equipped with good competency and the knowledge. So there is a clear need of capacity building and training of the personnel who has the responsibility of safety of these structures so that we have a complete dam safety in India. Capacity building is not just training, it includes a strong legal and policy framework which allows the development of the organization and its personnel as well. It is about the organizational development in terms of managerial structure, in terms of processes, procedures, not only within the organization but also the linkages and management of its relations with other organizations which are related to dam safety. It also includes human resources development, which is nothing but a process of equipping the personnel with necessary know-how, knowledge and skills so that they can deliver what they are supposed to deliver. in India, we have a strong legal and policy framework for capacity building. Our national water policy, which is a highest level document, has a lot of emphasis on continued quality improvement program and retraining of all water resources engineers and managers. Dam Safety Act, which is in a draft stage, also has a very important Article 25, which specifies about the qualification and the experience of each and every personnel which is involved in the dam safety. It also specifies about the continued training which are necessary to make that personnel up to date in the standards and the dam safety practices. Capacity building is also about the organization development. There are numerous organizations in India which are connected with the dam safety, starting with the dam owners, research institutes, academic institutes. There are funding agencies and other stakeholders like PSUs and municipal corporations, etc. We have a civil design organization at the center, which is acting as a nodal agency, not only for creating linkages between these organizations, but also for taking initiatives in capacity building and training at the national level. It is evident that the capacity building efforts will be more fruitful if all these organizations work in a synergized way rather than work in an isolated way. Because dam safety is multidisciplinary and there will be many institutes required to do the capacity building, we need a kind of a knowledge network so that there is a synergy between all these training institutions and they can share the resources, they can have faculty exchange program. One element that can be very important or useful for organization development is ISO standards for DSOs, all DSOs. It is essential that the DSOs have all their managerial and procedural things standardized as per the highest professional and quality standards. We have a DSO, CDSO, Central DSO, which is already having a ISO standard. All other remaining DSOs at the state level also needs to have ISO standards. If you analyze the issues troubling the human resources development in various dam safety organizations, we see that there is a low appreciation of the need of the capacity building. The link between the needs and supply is weak. The development of training material is insufficient. There is a priority and fund allocation for training is low. The training institutions which are having some expertise about the dam safety, they are working in isolation. There is no coherence between them. And whenever we talk about the human resources development, we only talk about the training, classroom training. But there are many other ways of imparting training to the officials, and that includes webinars, seminar, conferences, self-studies, online training programs, coaching, mentoring, so many other ways. But as long as we say about the capacity building, we talk mostly of the classroom trainings. There is a need to give attention to the other form of capacity building efforts also. In dam safety, because there are so many areas to deal with, it's a multidisciplinary sector. We need different layers of training for different level of officials. We require sensitization for the policy and decision makers. We require managerial and technological aspects training for the senior officers. And for the junior and middle level officers, we require training on the day-to-day activities, which are particularly technical areas, including monitoring, surveillance, health assessment, review of design for and other things. Generally, the human resources development part of the training part is carried out in an ad hoc manner. There is no plan of any DSO for training of its officials, and we try to give the study about the training plan of all the DSOs, but we didn't see any DSO having a training plan.
Jaskar, we are left with 2 minutes.
We need to have a scientific approach for the capacity building, wherein we must first understand what are the training needs of employees, what are the competencies that are required, and what are the competencies that are existing, and we need to focus the areas where we have gaps, and then accordingly find a learning solution, deliver the training programs. It is very important to do the assessment of the training also, whether not only the feedback that we take at the end of the training, but also whether after some time, maybe after 6 months or 1 year, whether the employees have actually used the knowledge in their day-to-day activities or not, and ultimately what is the impact of the training on the overall performance of the organization. So TNE is very important. Up till now, there was no TNA done for the dam safety organization, so NWA took initiatives and we did training needs assessment. We prepared a questionnaire and sent to all the DSOs, about more than 30 DSOs across the country, and we received response from about 10 organizations. We got response from Odisha, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Punjab, Gujarat. So it's a representative response, and we analyzed it, and we really found some interesting and vital inputs for structuring our training.